So my name is Dr. Saad Ahmed. I'm currently residing in Mumbai, doing my post graduation in ENT from KM Hospital. So basically, I hail from Pune. I did my undergraduation in KM Hospital, and currently I'm in the second year of my post graduation in ENT at KM Hospital. Pandemic began, we were having alternate day on call. So on call is typically of 24 hours. And so in the on call, we used to see the OPD patients and any emergency patients which might be coming. And after the on call day, the next day used to be our OT day, the operation theater day. So we used to take most of the elective surgeries on that day. And if any emergency surgeries had come previously on the on call day, we used to take them also during that day. So basically, on call day was 24 hours, and on the OT day, you used to get free by around evening. So it used to typically stretch around from around 36 to 38 hours of our shift, and then next day the same cycle is to be repeated. So currently, with the pandemic, on our elective surgeries are all stopped because of the risk of COVID exposure to the patients and doctors and everyone, the staff, the nurses, the servants, the class 3 workers. And apart from that, the OPD is still functioning, but we have requested, and as the government has requested, only for people to come only if it's a dire emergency. So obviously, the patients coming in the OPD are also lessened. So comparatively, the work schedule is not the same as we used to have before COVID. And apart from that, now all of us are being posted in COVID duties. So in COVID duties in KM, typically we follow this 10-day pattern. So we are posted for 10 days. It might be in an ICU or in a ward or in an OPD, like the fever OPD. So where you direct the patients to if they require any swab taken or if they can be managed conservatively with medicines. So depending on this, we are posted for 10 days in that OPD or ICU or in the ward. And so out there, it's we have like a 6 hour shift which changes every day. I mean, so if I do a shift from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., so the next shift will be after 24 hours. It will start from 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. and it goes on like that. And so that's the schedule currently. So we are doing 6 hour shifts because with the whole personal protective equipment that you wear, with the face mask and face shields, it's almost very difficult and almost impossible to wear that equipment beyond 6 to 8 hours because you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't go to the washroom. So that's why the stipulated time is 6 hours. So currently, when we are in the COVID ward or ICU, we work for around 6 hours and then we get an off. There has been a significant change. So obviously, is the whole pandemic thing, and we are in Mumbai, which is a big hotspot for COVID cases across India, and it's evolving as one of the major hotspots across the whole world. So obviously, we are working in the eye of the storm. So obviously, we have a lot of anxiety, and apart from that, there's a lot of fear that we may be contracting the infection because many of our colleagues, our juniors, our seniors, even many faculty from other departments have contracted the infection even after taking the utmost precautions. So you don't know, like anyone could be a carrier and anyone could be just passively transferring the infection to you. So obviously there has been a lot of stress and anxiety amongst our workers and amongst us also, that then we somehow need to deal with it. So we are taking all the utmost precaution that we take whenever we do a COVID duty. We wear scrubs and go after coming. We put them in hot water and with some antiseptic like Dettol or Savlon. Then we have a bath, and then only we enter our premises or like our rooms and everything. So yeah, and then we are frequently sanitizing our hands because that's the major source of infection that can be transferred via fomites. And then taking multivitamins, doing exercises, taking control of our diet, maintaining distance. That's all we are doing right now because this is the new normal. So then we have to evolve and bring new changes into our daily routine. So yeah, that's how the behavior has changed amongst me and my other colleagues and batchmates from the other departments. Currently, thing is that many of us have not visited our families since many months. Like after the lockdown started in March, many of us not localites, we stay outside Mumbai. So many of us have not met our parents and families in like 8 to 10 months. So this is the time where we are trying to emotionally bond with them via video conferences and calling them more frequently, because now we have a little more time on our hands, because previously we used to be so overburdened that we didn't get the time to connect with them, but now we're taking out the time to connect with them because that helps us miss them less, and also helps us to cope better with all the anxiety and all the negativity that is there around. So that's one aspect. And with more time on our hands, many of us are catching up with the web series, some of us are reading. So I'm currently reading a lot of novels, and I have started some form of sketching and painting, which I was not good at previously, but I had an interest. So I'm spending more time with that. And many of us are trying to uh, pace ourselves with the latest knowledge in a particular field, so that when this thing hopefully settles soon, we will be in a much better position to manage the cases that are coming under our specialty. Yeah, and many of us are exercising just to be healthy and cope up with the stress, because the endorphins that are released really help us to stay stable and calm. Talk amongst your colleagues, because they know what you're going through, because they are there in the similar situation. I mean, you can obviously confide in your friends from other like non-medical backgrounds and your family, but they won't really be knowing how exactly a clinician's problems are in these particular days, because it's something that will be new for us also. So, I mean, I think the best thing is to just talk about it, just like hang around them, because talking will really help you to lessen your burden, and if you will also feel that there is someone around to be who's taking care of you, and that you're not alone in this whole fight. So I think that's the best thing that can you can do. So just talk it out and just share amongst yourselves, share whatever experiences you have. So they say ना कि दुख बांटने से कम होता है and खुशी बांटने से बढ़ती है. So like, yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Currently in this COVID era, there was this patient. She was a female, 35-year-old, and she was having respiratory distress. The COVID report was negative, but as we know, many of the COVID reports that come, they are falsely negative, because the sensitivity of the test is not 100%. So she was a young female, around 35, 40 years old. She just had a comorbid hypothyroidism, and she was doing well. And suddenly her stats started dropping, and she was going into disorientation and delirium, and we had to intubate her, because that was the only thing we could do just to save her life. But she had a young child, and the husband was also there, and they were constantly requesting and praying to us that just help her out and just make her survive. She's the only one that I have, and it was very saddening for all of us. But there's a point where we do the maximum we can do, but after that we leave it to hope. So because many of the patients of similar age group, some are able to survive and some don't, and no one knows which will survive and which won't, who will survive and who won't. Sadly, the patient died, and the relatives were heartbroken, and so were we. But there was nothing we could do about it. We did our best. I mean, and that's what we think when we go to sleep at the end of the day, that we give our best, but then there are many things which are not in our hands. Like, we don't play God or anything like that. We do our best and then leave it to hopes. Many of them recover, but sadly some don't. But at the end of the day, this comes with the job. So, yeah. As I said, I mean, all of the care workers, I'm sure they are well aware of the disease, its prognosis, epidemiology, and how it affects. So the majority of the patients who don't have comorbidities, they have 100% recovery rate. They don't really develop complications, and they just need some quarantine, and they are well to do. So obviously you have to take the utmost precautions, your hand hygiene, the 6 steps. Just do it like every half an hour when you're on duty, and do it constantly even when you're off duty. Maintaining your hygiene, maintaining social distancing, eating healthy, which really affects your immunity. Because, and apart from that, like, you should sleep well, do some meditation, because health is just not about your physical aspect, it's about your mental aspect. So we are under tremendous amount of stress, but we can't let that stress get to us. I mean, we can't let the stress eat us. So obviously we need to do something about it. So with meditation, proper sleep, and talking to your colleagues about what you're facing. If you're having severe symptoms, something with depression and anxiety, then seeking professional help, because there is no harm in seeking it, and you should not stigmatize yourself if you have those symptoms. Because if you're not mentally healthy, then you are more prone to developing an infection, and chances of having complications severely increase. So you need to take care of that aspect also, and to remember that you have to do your best so that the infection doesn't happen to you. But in case, in a sad circumstance, when it does happen, you are well aware of the epidemiology of the disease and how it evolves. So you know most of the people recover. So even if you get the infection, you have people around you to talk to care about you. So even if it happens, just hang on to the hope that you will recover completely without any complication, and then you lead normal life after that. So that's what I would like to tell. Since the unlocking of Maharashtra has started, we are seeing that people are basically hoarding themselves at shops and violating social distancing and roaming around. And many of them are not wearing masks. And even if they are wearing, they're not wearing it suboptimally. Many of the masks are not covering the nostrils, the external nails. Many of the masks are just hanging on the necks. Some people are wearing scarves and handkerchiefs, and I don't know how much effective are they in combating the infection. So yeah, when you're going out, try to maintain your distance, use regular hand hygiene, and please wear a mask, because you don't know, you might contract the infection, and possibly you might be a passive carrier. So your immunity is good, but you can pass it to someone else whose immunity won't be that great. So yeah, that's what I will tell them. And just hang on, because like all diseases, we'll find a cure or a vaccine soon, and this will go someday. So just like hang in there.